Grammys 2020 nominations dropped. Um, boy, uh, some really good in here and some really bad in here, and that's how I pretty much always feel about the Grammys. Well, what stood out to you? I'll let you kind of lead the conversation with this.
Yeah, I think what stands out off the top is the overwhelming acceptance of the youth with these nominations. Billie Eilish, great showing. YBN Cordae nominated for Best Rap Album. Lizzo, not super young, but brand new, 8 nominations. Lil Nas X, certainly over nominated here, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And part of that makes me think that the new leadership at the Recording Academy, Neil Portnow, is out. Deborah Duggan is in. Perhaps that has something to do with that. On the other side of that coin, established Grammy darling in the past, Taylor Swift, is not nominated for Album of the Year once again, despite I think most people expecting Lover, return to form, pretty universally acclaimed. We expected this to get back in that field, but it did not. Paul Simon, Frank Sinatra, and Stevie Wonder, the only people in the last 60 years to win 3 Album of the Years. Taylor has 2. She has to keep waiting. So that's what kind of stood out to me, just kind of the mix of people. And then there's still plenty of surprises and head scratchers, as you alluded to. But yeah, it's a mixed bag, like the Grammys like to do.
Yeah, if Lil Nas X's shine on this, bless you, was by far the most surprising to me, because just looking through Album of the Year, right? You got the established people in here. You got Bon Iver, you got Lizzo's not established, Vampire Weekend, even Lana Del Rey. Someone who's gotten a lot of acclaim. Ariana Grande's gotten some shine more recently, and then you got the young people: Billie Eilish, Lil Nas X, Lizzo. Even her, who I know got some Grammy love last year as Best New Artist, but she feels very over nominated within all the categories. It feels like they almost tried too hard to create this mix. There's enough great music within the last year that obviously goes overlooked, and I think the rap category especially is a tough one, because there's so much, the amount of good rap out there right now is absurd, and the amount of people that actually get nominated is so small. It's maybe we could have taken a step back from giving Lil Nas X this one and maybe looked to a different person to get this Album of the Year nomination.
Mm-hmm.
What are your thoughts on the rap category? Did you feel like that was representative? How were you feeling after reading through?
Yeah, it depends how you frame it. I think all the albums nominated for Best Rap Album are good and deserving albums. We have the Dreamville Project, the Meek Mill album, 21's album, Igor, of course, and YB and Cordae. All good albums we liked. Tough to really argue against any of those. And I think some of them actually really inspired. Obviously, 21 Savage, I'm happy he's there. He's not going to win. I think it's a lock for Tyler, which Igor's barely rap, but Tyler's been a rapper for so long, I don't give a shit. I would love to see him win. Meek Mill comeback album, nice. Dreamville, the studio bringing everyone together, doing those crazy Dreamville sessions, really cool story. I like seeing that rewarded, even if I don't run back most of that album that often. And Cordae, of course, we've espoused praises about him being the new chosen one for a while. But if you're gonna claim one thing about 2019 hip hop, it's that it was dominated by the women. And Megan Thee Stallion has no nominations.
Yeah.
And despite Neil Portnow leaving, they still kind of shafted the women on here. I mean, Cardi B is nominated for Best Rap Song for her feature off Clout, off Offset's album. And I'm like, shit, of all the songs to pick, you could have picked Money, Cardi's single at least, Clout. It's okay. But I wish Megan was here for either Reeler or the whole project. I don't know. But I'm not too mad about it. There's no Eminem album that has to steal a spot this time, and it's also a year where there's no Drake to nominate, no Kanye, he didn't make the window, no Kendrick, and no Solo Cole. So you get some other faces in there, which I think is cool. So yeah, I'll be happy for Tyler. I assume he's gonna win.
As you were talking, I was just kind of scrolling down through different categories. Probably my favorite nomination, and just the one that I think encapsulates the problem with the Grammys, is Best Pop Vocal Album. this category, you got some really solid albums. When We All Fall Asleep, Where Do We Go? Billie Eilish, Thank You Next, Ariana Grande, Lover, Taylor Swift,
All had to
Lion
be there.
King. Okay, it's Beyonce. Okay, I get it. Number 6 collaborations project. by Ed
Garbage.
Sheeran. Yeah, go back to our review of that because, man, the fact that this got nominated for a Grammy, especially when there's been so much good pop this year too. I mean, how I don't know if Lana got nominated somewhere else. Maybe she's an indie. I didn't actually check there,
No.
but
I mean, she got Album of the Year. So
how do you not put her back in this category
right.
over Ed Sheeran? It's just ridiculous.
Or Charlie XCX.
Yeah, absolutely.
Or BTS.
Yeah, BTS not getting love is absurd.
Yeah, that's strange. Really strange. I mean, but it's like Ed Sheeran and Beyonce. They are still on the Grammy good side, unlike Taylor Swift, apparently, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of weird. Honestly, you know, best rock song? Best rock song is actually, I think, a really funny mix of rock, you know, Tool, 1975, Vampire Weekend, Brittany Howard, Gary Clark Jr. Honestly, if you're going to grab a grab bag of what is rock these days, that's pretty close.
Not bad. Although the 1975, you know my feelings on them. Yeah. But the fact that it's this song and not, you know, Love It If We Made It or something like that is a bit surprising that they nominated this one over.
Oh wait, yeah, shit.
When
did that come out?
Yeah, and it's also interesting how Vampire Weekend has best rock album or best alternative music album, but then gets nominated for best rock song and then album of the year. They're in all these different categories. Yeah. So I think that kind of speaks to how rock, even the albums that are most looked at, are not really true rock albums anymore.
Yeah, I think the best alternative music, you have Vampire Weekend, Bon Iver again, as you expect, James Blake, Tom York, and then Big Thief. Yeah. I think that's actually pretty solid. I mean,
yeah, really solid.
Big Thief is either a love it or hate it band, but they're definitely a big act in that scene. So I think that's fair. I think best new artist is also pretty impressive, just because I think there's a lot of obvious choices there, right? Was it Lizzo, Billie, Maggie Rogers, Rosalia, and then some other like really inspired below the belt band choices. So that's actually a nice field. Notably, no Megan again, no DaBaby. DaBaby does have some other nominations for song and stuff, but yeah. Again, I was not really offended by much, but I think the biggest surprise ultimately was Taylor not getting back into Album of the Year.
Yeah, I think that was probably the biggest surprise for a lot of people, and probably Lil Nas X's Love It as well, I think. Yeah, although he won a couple of awards last night at the American Music Awards.
Right.
So he might actually, I don't know. I don't know what the crossover is for this. I don't really pay attention.
Also, I mean, we knew this was coming. We knew Ariana nominated Seven Rings. That was the song she put forward for Song of the Year and Record of the Year and all that, which is just strange to me because it's not the best song on the album. Obviously, Thank You Next Title Track's I think a much more obvious choice, but also like 90% of that song's cut goes to Rodgers and Hammerstein because of the interpolation and stuff. I feel like it's just not the best like example of this is who Ariana was this past year. You know, I just find that strange. Also, Lizzo, notably, if you look at the nominations, the deluxe edition of "'Cause I Love You" is the one that was nominated. That's notable because "Truth Hurts" was added to this album, and later "Good as Hell" was added to the super deluxe of this album. These are songs that came out 2 and 3 years ago, and those are the two biggest songs she had this year. So it's kind of strange that, and then "Truth Hurts" itself is nominated in several categories.
Lizzo's really a new artist, right?
Right, but even "Truth Hurts" literally came out in 2017.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, she's really new, quote unquote. It's like who was it that won like 2 years? Was it 2 years ago? I forgot who like the winner was, but they had been around for like a while. And
that happens pretty often. And like again, no problem with nominating that Lizzo album, but I do find it's kind of category fraudish to find a way to reward the songs that are actually old. You mentioned "Love It If We Made It" with 1975.
Mm-hmm.
That song came out in July, so you just can't nominate this time,
right?
You know.
True.
Also, Her. We remarked that we were surprised about the nomination she got last time. Now that album that's nominated is really just the combination of those 2 EPs that have come out, and that first EP was nominated the last Grammys. So how, like, it's like you're half of this album already was rewarded, and that's like a re-release. It's just strange. Like, does Her have nudes on someone in the industry? Like, what's going on here? I'm just confused.
I feel like this always happens though, is that the Grammy nominators fall in love with certain artists, and then those artists just get continuously nominated. You know,
right?
I don't know. It's frustrating, I guess. It kind of brings me back to, I guess, my final point on all this is, I was just kind of left feeling like, who gives a fuck about the Grammys, man? I mean, think about all the albums we review, and our playlist reflects, like, we are going through quite a bit of music, and maybe 10% of that, 15% of that is actually like presented at the Grammy Awards. Like, music is so much deeper and probably the least represented by its award shows.
We reviewed precisely 0 of the best rock albums nominated.
Is that true?
0. The Cranberries one, Caged Elephant. We didn't talk about any of those.
Oh, geez.
3 of the 5 alternatives, though.
Okay, well, take that.
In terms of like the snubs that have been going around, I think Carly Rae Jepsen, I'm not surprised, but that's a really good album. Maren Morris, I was surprised they didn't get more country love. Like, the country awards, you know, for the Grammys, they have no qualms about going for country pop and stuff that's barely traditional country. So I thought Maren Morris was kind of a shoe in there, a little surprising. Halsey, make a big stink, her and her fans. We do not give a shit, to be honest. I do care about Solange, though. That does not make sense to me, because she got nominated last time. So it's not like she's like an unknown. And this was a great record, and it's just not
great
here.
Record.
That's a shock.
Yeah. So if you want to care about an award, or I guess recognition of an album, you should be getting excited for our best of list, which should be rolling out in the next couple of weeks. So
and our decade talk, so much decade.